This is Mac OS Ken.
Movement ahead of WWDC, elusive laptops and invisible headphones, and I've got Margo's got money troubles thoughts. It is Tuesday, the 26th of May, 2026. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Copilot Money. Your money, beautifully organized. Get 2 months free with code MacOSKen at copilot.money/MacOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Coming soon to a browser near you, a generative AI site from Apple, apparently. MacRumors ran a piece over the weekend that had the Cupertino company readying the subdomain genai.apple.com. Like a lot of AI stuff from Apple, it currently goes nowhere. Hi-yo! I kid. I give them a hard time in jest. The site really does go nowhere, though. genai.apple.com does not yet lead to a live web page. That's according to MacRumors and according to the interminable period of time Safari sat there doing nothing after I typed in the URL and hit return. As for what it might do, your guess is as good as anybody's. MacRumors points out that Apple's website already has an Apple Intelligence page, so what's with the new address? We'll probably find out soon. News of the subdomain comes just a couple of weeks ahead of WWDC 26. There, MacRumors says Apple has promised to announce AI advancements across its software platforms. Well, third time's a charm, huh? Though it was a holiday weekend, Sunday brought a new round of Gurman guesses. 9 to 5 Mac highlights some of the latest from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman and his Power On newsletter. According to that, your Apple Intelligence-enabled devices will get better at visualization. Gurman points to past reports of his own that Apple is preparing to support third-party AI models beyond OpenAI's ChatGPT for image creation in the redesigned Image Playground app in iOS 27. It turns out, he says, there's a little more to the story. Apple's own models for Genmoji and Image Playground have been improved, so quality is getting a big boost this year. In case you have forgotten, Image Playground is an on-device image generation app for iPhone. It uses pictures and text prompts to produce visuals. Genmoji is usually referred to as an emoji generator powered by Apple Intelligence. Personally, I take issue with that description. There's a group of people who get together and decide on emoji. I can't just make up words, call them English, then have people say, he generates words in English. And again, I'm not Apple, so whatever. I will say, I sort of assume that Apple made the visuals generated by Image Playground intentionally weak and cartoony. I figured they were trying to stay out of the deepfake waters and the dangers lurking therein. It'll be interesting to see whether Image Playground images are more realistic or just better looking. If they're anything like the last ones, I'll probably play with them for a day, then pretty much forget they exist. Expect to hear more about Apple's generative AI plans and image generation in just under 2 weeks' time. WWDC 2026 starts Monday after next, the 8th of June. That is the day someone will hit play on the keynote at 10 a.m. Pacific. Smaller in scope and likely coming in hot, iOS 26.5.1 appears to be on the way. MacRumors ran a piece late last week that had the unreleased and unannounced operating system update turning up in its visitor logs, a reliable indicator of upcoming iOS versions to this point. Expected newness in the update? Next to nothing. Stability and performance improvements, bug fixes, and or addressing security issues are the most likely inclusions. MacRumors anticipates a public release sometime this week. Also showing up in the visitor logs is iOS 26.6. Again, nothing new expected for that one. MacRumors thinks 26.6 betas for developers and public testers will start making the rounds in the middle of next month. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, Copilot Money. Your money beautifully organized. Think about how people used to track spending. They'd write a check, and weeks later they would get that canceled check back, along with printed copies of transactions and balances. It was a slower, but simpler process. Today, much of our spending is set it and forget it. Very convenient, but troublingly easy to lose track of. Copilot Money lets you keep an eye on all of it. With Copilot Money, you track money coming in, money going out, where you stand on financial goals, and how your investments are performing. All of that in one beautiful application for iPhone, iPad, and the Mac, or through their full-featured web experience. And all of it with your privacy in mind. With Copilot Money, there are no ads, no upsells, and your info is never sold. Right now, you can get 2 months free with code MacOSKen at copilot.money/MacOSKen. Recognized by Apple as a must-have finance app and as a smart way to save money, you can try it for no money with a 2-month free trial with offer code MacOSKen at copilot.money/MacOSKen. Copilot Money. Your money beautifully organized. Get 2 months free with offer code MacOSKen at copilot.money/MacOSKen. While Monday was an actual Monday for this show, it wasn't an actual Monday. How about I use that as the excuse for forgetting again to check MacBook Neo availability? Honestly, I figured the need to keep checking would have ended sometime in March, but here we are, months later, looking at wait times for Apple's low-cost laptop line. Right now, the wait's somewhere between a little over a week and a little over 2 weeks, or it was on Monday anyway. Checking Apple's site, every color and both capacities show delivery between Wednesday the 3rd of June and Wednesday the 10th of June had I ordered on Monday the 25th of May. Whether the Memorial Day holiday affected or would affect delivery times, I can't say. I can say doing the swing by and grab one thing would not have helped. Ordering for pickup on Monday would have had me waiting until the 10th of June, again for both capacities in every color. Apple seems to have a new pair of headphones waiting in the wings. MacRumors ran a piece late last week that had the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, posting documents related to an apparently unreleased Apple product described as Bluetooth over-ear headphones. The site doubts they're any sort of AirPods, thanks to the numbering convention. Something in a Beats line seems more likely, though MacRumors stresses that such a guess would just be a guess. As for what the documents say, the pages that might give actual clues are currently hidden under a confidentiality request. MacRumors says that is standard for Apple's product filings with the FCC. Apple kinda made history this past weekend. The Cupertino company used a slew of iPhone 17 Pro units to capture and broadcast an MLS match between the LA Galaxy and Houston Dynamo FC. I did not catch the match, though Apple Insider's Andrew Orr has written up fan reaction. As might have been expected, viewers say it was really good at the close-up, hard-to-cover angles. Faster-paced and far-away action, though, and that might call for a more traditional camera. The way the post puts it, in-goal footage, tunnel shots, player walkouts, and low-angle views near the pitch received positive reactions on social media and in live match threads. Meanwhile, viewers in live Reddit match threads complained about soft, wide shots, visible compression, constant refocusing, shaky tracking, and heavier image processing during fast movement across the field. Sounds like a combo might be the way to go. Some well-placed iPhone units for tight spots with built-for-broadcast cameras doing what they do. I'll be curious to hear whether Apple tries again. Meanwhile, for those who want to see for themselves how it went, you can catch a highlight reel or a replay of the full broadcast on Apple TV. And finally today, I'll tell you what I did watch over the weekend. We finally gave Margo's Got Money Troubles a try, and it's really good. I wouldn't say life-changing, but that's a lot to ask of TV most of the time. Elle Fanning is good, Nick Offerman is good. Michelle Pfeiffer is the standout for me. Her character is so superficial that when real humanity breaks through, it's the difference between her playing a character and her acting, I think. Also, mad love for Greg Kinnear. His character goes from someone you don't like to someone for whom you feel sorry to someone who is just so pure of heart. All that said, I'm not through it yet. 2 episodes left to watch, but Apple TV has picked up the show for a second season, so I'm guessing season 1 ends strong. Sexuality all through it, though, stops being about sex in the first episode. There are also issues around substance abuse, so if those things are triggering, heads up. No word on when season 2 will make the scene. Meanwhile, all of Margo's Got Money Troubles season 1 is available to stream now on Apple TV. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Copilot Money. Get 2 months free with code MacOSKen at copilot.money/MacOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can find me on Mastodon, macosken at mastodon.social. You can also send me an email, info@macosken.com. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.